Update before I go to sleep. So in terms of accountability, it's been meh. I mean, I haven't, fallen or anything like that, but it's been, again, difficult. I mean, at the same time, I guess a plus side of being super busy is the fact that you don't really have time to be thinking about that sort of stuff anyways. So I've mostly been attacked in other ways, weirdly. I watched a YouTube video about basically reading through the Marvel Zombies comic, and I thought it would be like a campy, dumb zombies comic where it's just fun and dumb, where, it follows the heroes as they beat up a bunch of superpower zombies. But no, it turned out to be following the zombie superheroes eating and being gross and stuff, which was bleh. Bleh. I didn't like it, but I watched the entire thing because I don't know why. And so the imagery from that has been like poking me for the last like 2 or so days. And that's been really annoying, honestly. It's just gross. It's gross and it feels like sort of demonic and bleh. Yeah. Bleh. Yeah. Anyways, in other news, I lost my wallet 2 days ago. And so I used a card for my wallet in the first job of that day. So I know that I had my wallet at the very least when I was out doing my jobs. So at the very least I know that. And I discovered that I had lost my wallet like when I had arrived back home, because I was literally about to go to ICBC in order to hand in my Washington driver's license in order to get a BC driver's license. Welp, yeah, I realized right at that moment that I had lost my wallet and that the last time that I had used it was like really, really early on in the first house of that day. So I could have lost it. Oh yeah, and not only that, I had not only arrived back home, I had walked into this house, into the basement, and did a few things, and then walked back to the car. So who knows? It could be here, it could be in the car, it could be in either of those two houses. I looked through those houses again twice. I looked through that day. I literally drove back to those places. It was in like Langley and Fort Langley. I drove back to those places in order to check, and I was searching for an accumulative probably like 2 hours that day. And then the next day I had jobs in Langley again, and so I revisited those houses, and the homeowners were nice, so they allowed me to walk around and check, and I still couldn't find it. There's just, houses are big places with many, many places where you can lose something, and it's a black wallet. It's not the easiest thing necessarily to find, especially if it fell into a dark corner or something like that. For all I know, it could be lying around somewhere here. So I really didn't want to cancel my cards and all that sort of stuff until I was like sure someone had stolen it. So I was like checking my checking accounts, and no one had stolen anything. No one was making any transactions in any of my accounts, and so I was just hoping that it would show up somewhere. But finally yesterday I was like, okay, after I didn't find it anywhere in either of the houses, and I looked thoroughly through my car and looked thoroughly through the house, I went to a police department in Langley um, in order to just report it as either lost or stolen, and they said that they would have contacted me if they had it, so they checked the systems, and I wasn't in the system because I have a Washington driver's license, so I told them like my information so that if they do find it, they can contact me. So that's something at least. Yeah, and one massive, massive boon to visiting the police department was the information that they gave me, where if I go to ICBC, I don't actually need to have my Washington driver's license since I lost it. I can just like bring my birth certificate and passport, and that's enough identification in order for me to get my BC driver's license, so that's really good. Oh my goodness, that was a massive relief. However, I wasn't able to go directly to ICBC because it was closed, but yeah, and I didn't do it today either because I was still half hoping that the wallet would show up, but it didn't. So today when I was texting my brother, he recommended that I just get just call the bank, just get the cards reshipped out to me and stuff. And so I did that, and that took like 2 hours for me to get not only the debit card starting to get mailed out to me, but also I needed to apply for a Canadian credit card anyways, so I went through that process. And that took longer than it should have, honestly. It was a bit convoluted, and there were a few wrong turns taken, but it's whatever. So that brings us to now. I guess some good that's come from it. I was telling different group chats to pray for it so that I'd find it quickly, or that it would be found by someone and handed over to me. And a common theme, seemingly, that people were feeling is that what the enemy has stolen, what a thief has stolen, once they're caught, will be repaid sevenfold. And so everything stolen there is going to be repaid sevenfold what it was stolen. And so I guess in some ways that has happened. If I didn't have the wallet lost, then I probably wouldn't have cleaned my car. I probably wouldn't have done like the dishes. There were a few things, like productivity things, that probably would have just been taken up by me doing nothing online, which is like pretty good. And I've been very productive these last few days. I mean, I not only have been keeping up with my work, but I've also been like, doing the figuring out how to find the wallet as well, and like figuring out how to deal with all that stuff. So I suppose I've been like more productive than usual in some ways, which is like useful for the future at the very least. It's definitely a useful tool in my belt. So yeah, today I had 2 jobs. I applied for that credit card, and tomorrow I'm going to have 3 jobs. And I'm starting at 8 a.m. I have to be somewhere at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So I need to be up at like 6:50. And it's not only somewhere tomorrow. I need to be in Richmond. I need to be like near the coast in Richmond, which is like 40 to 50 minutes away from my place. So yeah, I'm going to be up at like 6:50, and I'll leave in 10 minutes, Basically, that's the idea. And it is probably, I'm assuming, like 11:30 right now, so I maybe have like 7.5 hours. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow on Proverb down below. I'll keep you guys updated.